My name is Ken Savin. I'm a chemist at Eli Lilly and Company, and I've been here for about 16 years. I think overall the TMP experience for myself and for us, for Lilly, has been very good. It's, again, very rewarding, both from the standpoint of being able to work with some young people and see a different perspective, but also to get some successes out of these projects when the reality was, we go into it with not a very high expectation. We're going to see if we can get something, and we've been pleasantly surprised with some very good things coming out of it that have actually gone on to become bigger projects. So I think it's been good for us. I think it's good for the Keck Graduate Institute students, and we'll continue to do these in the future, that's for sure. So the current project is focused on understanding the way that we use electronic notebooks. So the notebook, the way we capture all the information that we put into our own data systems, is done using a computer version of the old-time paper notebook that you would go and just write up your experiment in. But the reality is not much has changed since the early paper notebooks. It's still a word processor into a locked archive with some basic calculation ability. And what we want to do is explore the possibilities of all the new technologies that have come around with video and other ways to take data and sync it all together into one place so that in the future somebody can come in and really understand what happened. Whereas now you're getting, a mishmash of what they thought happened and maybe what they remembered seeing. Whereas if you had video and that was combined with someone's voice recording and all the data that was being captured at that time, you'd get a much deeper understanding, much deeper picture of what was occurring. I think there's a number of ways we benefited. I think the way we use the program really describes what we're trying to get out of it and what we believe we're getting out of it. We're getting a young view, right? These are younger people who are looking at these problems that maybe we've looked at in the past. So they're giving us a young view of the situation. At the same time, it's a fresh but yet educated view. These are people who are actually smart and being educated in ways that we have not been, and they bring that perspective to the problem. And it is, for me, it is actually very rewarding. It's a little risky and maybe frightening in the beginning, but it's very rewarding at the end to see a bunch of solutions that I would not even have considered, and no one at Lilly would have considered. And that's why you do it. It's because of the things you don't know that you're going to get and the different perspective. Not just because they're younger, but because they have a different background, a different technical background. And it's for us, it's been very positive. Well, I think there's a couple of reasons. One is we've got an established process for doing that. It makes it very easy for us. Of course, I have to say that it's less expensive, and there's and sometimes that is important. I don't necessarily think that we would do this in this way because of that, but it's an added bonus. But I do look at it and say that it is a good partnership. They bring to the table things that we do not. They're easy to work with. They want to do a good job, and they're willing to work hard to get there, and they're willing to propose things that people, and maybe as you get older, you become more conservative, and they're willing to step up and say, well, what about this? And have you considered that? And in many cases, I found that we've often had to have it explained to us because we just didn't know, we weren't familiar with the technology or what have you. So those are, I think, the real reasons. And there is something to be said for, in the end, meeting with these students, and there's learning that goes both ways. They teach us a little bit about what they're doing and their perspective, and at the same time, they're expecting to get a little perspective from us, and I think they get that.